everybody, it's me, Tokkuri Yashi. Today we're going to start our look at all of the elemental teams 1 year after their implementation into the game. We're going to look if it's a functional team, upgrades they've had over the last year, who are the core units for this team, who you should be aiming to summon, who you want to be grinding out the shards for if they have. We'll be focusing on deep quests, clown battle and dungeon. We're not going to be focusing on any PvP units because elemental boosts are not effective in PvP. Any team that's good in deep quest should be good for Lunar Tower, special dungeon when we get these kind of modes as well. So today we are starting with the fire team, both the fire physical and the fire magical team. Let's jump over and have a look at the fire physical team first then. So I would say that this team is in quite a good position at the moment considering all of the teams that we have. It has everything there that we need to run it. It's got good tank options. In June, who is incidentally the very first summonable character that we got when the game was released. An OG character indeed, and still very valuable to have. We've got the good DPS there with Christina for single target. We've got Weemy, who can work on single target and multi-target, and Fubuki, that's multiple target. We've got good support there with Sarasuri Siren and with Valentine's Day Shizuru. And we have got our dedicated 200% speed buffer in Nefi Neira. They make up all of the core units we have for the fire physical team. Core units are, in my opinion, characters that are going to make up the fire physical team, take up five or four places on that team most of the time. Then we have our fringe units underneath. These are the characters that might take the 4th or 5th slot on that team if you're not making a full team of core units. Upgrades for the last year, well, Fubuki, Nefi Neira and Summoner are all new characters over the last year, Fubuki being the most recent one. And we had a few upgraded unique equipments over the last year as well. Astral Yori there and the Siren unit. All of these characters then will be very good for the fire physical team, but just because they are not on this list here, we've got a few of the fire physical team at the side here. So we're going to look at some honourable mentions here that maybe could have made it on as a fringe unit. And the first one I'm going to go to maybe Wild Matsuri here. He's used a little bit as well in the deep quest, so a character that could have possibly made it here on as a fringe unit. Inori, here the 6-star Inori, also, although she is mostly a PvP unit, is also potentially a fringe unit. It'd be very helpful to have here as well. It was featured in a few deep quest stages. Maybe this 6-star Masogi too could potentially help you out a little bit. In the summer, Akino also has featured a little bit, but not quite enough, I think, to put it on as a fringe unit. Halloween, Mimi's a little bit disappointing. As for our unique equipment too, we never got to really see her again. She does have some negative effects for the team, maybe that is why. And there we go, I think that is about it there for the fire physical team. Try to aim to get all of these and you should be good to go, not too bad at all. So let's jump over then and have a look at the magical side of the fire team. And as we can see here, well, I don't think it is in quite as good a position as the physical side of this team. Is it a functional team? Well, yes, if you have all of the characters, but there are quite a lot of new characters that have been released this year. In that core, 3 out of the 4 were released in the last year. Wormlind and the Xmas L'Oreal. The Maho, for newer players, the Summer Maho there might be a little bit older and therefore maybe less people will have hair as well, which makes this a pretty hard team to be able to run. Also, it doesn't have all the functionality that the physical team does. It doesn't have a 200% speed buffer. We have got this student Carol here who is a speed buffer, but we all think she's going to be replaced soon. Sometimes makes it on the team, but well, she's probably going to be replaced within this next year. We don't really have the best tank options as well for this team. A lot of the time we're using Lin to tank. We have got the Edo Kuka that we can potentially use, but that's maybe one of the reasons why this Anna and Gray isn't used as much either, because they sit in front of Lind. You have to use the Edo Kuka to tank with them usually, which makes this team not work too well together. Maybe the Hamare here, I didn't see her, where she is, New Year's Hamare, maybe she could have been put up as a core unit. But again, I think since the elemental system, she works well on off elemental teams and hasn't worked so much on this fire magical team. So it's very difficult to build this team. It's not really any honourable mentions here. Maybe this 6-star Amelia sometimes gets used, but again, she might be difficult to have obtained, not being very easy to get. And we're kind of waiting on a few more upgrades in for the team. Maybe over this next year, this team will get a few more upgrades. But if you want to start working on this fire physical team, and we can for the core units up there that you should be aiming to have. If you have some of the fringe units, we can maybe run it at the moment, but I think a lot of them will be replaced over this next year. Stu and Carol, maybe even the Halloween Kyoka 2 might be getting replaced over the next year. We'll have to wait and see about that. A team that definitely needs some buffs over the next year. So, there we go. That was a look at the Fire Elemental team and its state in February 2025. During the anniversary 1 year after its implementation. So let me know what you think about this fire team. I'm Tokkuri Yashi, thank you very much for watching. See you all again for another video. Bye 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 bye. Hey.